Big 12 Media Days just ended. What did Rich Rod and his players have to say for the upcoming season? Let's talk about it.
Your president, your athletic director, obviously your coaches and your players, and your fan base as well. And we have that in West Virginia. We are aligned with where we want to go to. So I feel confident we'll be a lot better this year, probably a lot better than people predict, but we've got to prove that first.
Center left, second.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Hard Edge Podcast. We're happy to be back here today. The Big 12 Media Days just underwent, so we're going to talk about that. It's going to be fun. Rich Rod said some cool stuff. Nothing too interesting, though. And then we're going to talk about 5 predictions before the season starts. How have y'all been? I've been good watching the Big 12 Media Days. It's kind of boring because they don't really give you much information, kind of stuff you already know, but that's just fine. They still gave us some stuff. So we're going to get straight into it. Rich Rod gave out a little bit of stuff. He wasn't on the stage for too long, but he still gave out some information that we would like to know. So first off, Rich Rod, he said when he was going into the transfer portal, he wasn't looking for pure potential. He wasn't looking for potential at all. So some coaches nowadays will be like, this guy will be good in 3 years. Can't do this nowadays in college football because transfers and NIL, if you're trying to develop a player, that's not really a thing anymore unless they patch it or the player's like, I'm going to stay with y'all forever. That's not going to happen. He says he looks for production over potential. So you could see that when he goes into the portal. He doesn't go and get guys who have no stats. He goes to get guys that have stats already and have proved themselves. So I think that's cool, and he's developing to the new college landscape because if you told him this back in 2006, he'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? So I'm glad he's developing to the new college football world, and I think he's going to have a good year this year. So the second thing he said was they were going to be better than everybody's predicting them to be. So basically, if y'all haven't heard, all the news analysts have been predicting West Virginia to pick last in the Big 12 or close to last. Any other team I've seen that's been picked behind us has been either like UCF or Iowa State or Cincinnati. But they have us like at least 14 through 16. Nothing high. I haven't seen anything higher than that other than, who was it? It was Phil Steele. He had us at 7. So I like that pick. There's some other big guys. There's one other guy that had us up high, but I didn't see many. So I think that's a good thing. I know that some people will be like, why would that be a good thing? But I think it's a good thing to be an underdog because in 2023, we were picked last in the Big 12, and then we came back and made a bowl game, 9-win season. We could have probably nowadays with the expanded playoffs made the playoffs if they had the expanded playoffs that year because we were at the edge of 9 wins. We had pretty good. I actually don't think we could make the playoffs, but we can maybe get close if they just looked at our quality wins. So the next thing he talked about was this one I really liked. He wants regional games. That's one of the things I also believe in. He says he wants regional games. If y'all don't know what I mean by regional games, he says he would like to play teams like North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Pitt, Maryland, Penn State, and others. So he's basically saying he hates traveling. I mean, so I don't really like traveling either, but I know in this era of college football, you're going to have to travel because nobody really cares about the regional rivalries anymore. And that's kind of sad because I would love to see us play Penn State, Pitt, and Virginia Tech every year. But that's not possible because everybody wants that NIL money. So that's basically the top priority right now. But he's saying he'd like to be in a conference with all those people and make a super conference and be on big national television every night. I think that's a good idea, but I don't know if everybody would agree with that. What do y'all think in the comments? Put it down below. Do y'all agree with Rich Rod's idea on the new conferences? Or do you think he's just crazy and he just needs to stick to the Big 12? So one more thing Rich Rod said was there was competition at each position. So I know like last year he said that he could play 4 guys. So that wasn't a good sign. But I don't know what he did. He says this every year. He said this last year too. So I think he's just trying not to give us much information. But I guess you could get something good out of this. He's saying basically there's no standout guys at each position. Like he's not saying Michael Hawkins is a million miles away from Scotty. or he's not saying Prince Strong is 10 times better than Tayron Francis. He's just saying it's competitive at each position, and they're all battling to get a starting job. So I think that was cool that he said that. He likes to be sneaky. He's not giving us too much information. He didn't give us the starting quarterback. He said he's going to keep it close to his vest. But we all know it's going to be Michael Hawkins. At least that's what I think. So that's what Rich Rod said. If y'all heard anything else, if y'all are private reporters or y'all were there and you asked him some questions, just tell me. I'd like to hear them. But the next people I'm going to talk about is Jaden Bray and Nick Cray. I haven't seen anything yet of Jameer Latimer. I just wanted to get this out tonight before I did much research. But this is what Jaden Bray said. Last year, before I get into this, Cam Vaughn had some incidents on and off the field with different teammates. So this year looks like a better sign from what Jaden Bray just said. He said the team gets along very well on and off the field. So he says he even hangs out with his teammates off the field. He says they're like his best friends. So that's a really good sign. If you're on the field with somebody that you really like and you just enjoy being around, you're going to have fun. And you just want to do good with them. So I think that's a really good thing to think about. Because I feel like last year, none of the players really had a great relationships with each other. You didn't see players like, I know in 2023, we had Garrett Green, Jaheim White, and Cole Taylor. Those were the standout guys that were the most charismatic and happy. Like, you could see if Garrett Green or Jaheim White made a big play, you see the other guy sprinting down the field to congratulate him. So I hope this is how the team is this year. It's like a very friendly-looking team. They're all like each other. Not friendly, but like nice to each other. There's no conflicts. So hopefully that is true, what Jaden Bray's saying. And then this is what Nick Cray said. He says he models himself off Zach Frazier and Wyatt Malum, and these people were really good, influential people in his lives and big role models for him and others. He also mentioned that him and Landon Livingston have copied Wyatt Malum after he had a pregame tradition where his training coach and strength staff in the hotel room before night games, he would wait. He wouldn't lay in his bed until the strength staff came in. So Landon Livingston and Nick Cray have been copying that ever since. He said he started that last year, which I think is a cool tradition. But what do y'all think about that tradition? I think it's kind of funny that they copied Wyatt Malum, and he also made me laugh when he said they just copy anything Wyatt Malum does because he's a All-American. He's in the NFL playing for Pittsburgh right now. I think he's gonna be a really good NFL center in years to come. He still is right now. He's starting. That really surprised me when he was starting, but he was an All-American. So on the next thing Jaden Bray said, he said the receivers were great. He said there was a lot of depth at the receiver room this year, but he said the one that stood out to him the most was Prince Strachan or Prince Strachan. I'm not sure. I've heard people say both, but I'm just going to say Prince Strachan. It sounds a little bit cooler. But he said Prince Strachan stood out to him the most. He made many plays in practice, and he's also a good guy off the field. So I think that's good. I'm really high on Prince Strachan. He's probably my favorite receiver right now. 6'5", he's a 50-50 threat. So if you don't know what 50-50 threat is, like you could just throw it up, lob it up, he'll catch it because he's 6'5". I think it's really cool that we have a 6'5" receiver. To put that into perspective, that's like Javion Buchanan or Finley Bizjack. So that's pretty tall. That's really tall. 6'5". So that's one of the tallest people. I think he's one of the taller guys on the football field this year for us. So that's a good thing to have tall receivers. I wish all of our receivers were 6'5", but they might not be as fast, but Prince Strachan's pretty fast for his size. So one last thing, Nick Cray said he gives high praise to Kevin Brown. He gave very, very high praise. That's the first thing he said in the press conference or his interview that I watched. He said he has good feet and good hands, and he also says he made a big step forward coming into camp in the wintertime. He said he definitely has a lot of potential, and he's one of the standouts in the weight room. So I think that's really cool that he mentioned Kevin Brown first. And another guy he mentioned was Wes King. He said he took the biggest step forward on the team in the offensive line group. I'm a really big fan of Wes King. He came from Wyoming, And I'm pretty sure he hadn't allowed a sack in like a few hundred snaps. So he's one of our best guys. He was one of the first guys we took out of the portal as well. He's one of the better offensive linemen. I'm not sure. It might have been him or Carson Cassidy from Kansas State who hadn't allowed a sack. So those are both NFL-worthy guys. I think they could definitely have a career in the NFL in years to come. So those were the media days. What do y'all think? Did y'all think the media days exposed anything, or do you think it was just kind of average media day? Didn't give us much, all stuff we just didn't know. We already knew. So next subject. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but not too short. So 100 predictions by SI Sports. We've been doing this for the past few episodes. So I'm going to give you all the prediction number of my prediction and then the prediction number of their prediction. So these are the ones we're doing today. 20, 22, 53, and 8. So those are the predictions we're doing today. So here we go. First prediction they made was their pick number 20. QB Mike Hawkins Jr. wins Big 12 Newcomer of the Week multiple times. If you don't know what the Big 12 Newcomer of the Week, it's an award. So basically, for the transfers, the best players of the week. So let's say Coastal Carolina versus West Virginia. Mike Hawkins threw for 250 yards and rushed for 100. So maybe he'd win the Newcomer of the Week with that award. He's like the best transfer of that week. So I think this could definitely happen. I don't know about multiple times. I think it could definitely happen once or twice, though. Because he has definitely got some speed. He has very good speed, very good throwing, very elusive. 6'3", 6'2". So I think he's going to be the starting quarterback. If y'all don't know already, I've probably hinted it a few times in my coming podcasts. So I definitely think he's going to have a big year. He's going to pass for over 2,400, and I think he could rush for over 1,000. I think he's going to be the best quarterback we've had since 2020, or it's going to be the best quarterback we've had in a while. I don't know about like Will Grier. He might be better than Will Grier, because there was multiple reporters saying he could have won the Heisman. Mountaineer Paul put out a post today, and there was this little edit thing, and there was multiple reporters on there that said he could have won a Heisman, and he looked better than multiple quarterbacks at Oklahoma that have won Heismans or been in contention for Heismans. So, my pick number 2, their pick number 22. Here we go. They say Cook will end the season as a top 3 rusher in the Big 12. So I could see him as the number 1 or number 2 rusher in the Big 12 if he doesn't get hurt. The only thing that could stop him is him getting hurt. Or if there's some other guy that takes over his job. Let's say Latimer has a huge start and he turns over he starts over Cam Cook, or Christopher Talley comes out of nowhere and starts. So that's the only thing that could happen. And a little stat I can give y'all here. We ran the ball 523 times last year. He got 295 carries at Jacksonville State. So I'm assuming he's going to get at least a third of the carries, if not more, here. So I think he could definitely get this award, if not number 1. I think he could win running back of the year, because if 523 times we rushed it last year, and that was with a bad offensive line and not very good running backs, I believe we'll run it closer to 550 times this year or higher, because we had to pass a little bit more last year than Rich Rod, I think, would like to, because if we didn't have an offensive line and we didn't have the best running backs, and we were almost out of our running backs, all of our running backs, we didn't want to get them hurt, so we had to resort to the pass. So I think we'll definitely run it more than 520 times. So my pick number 3 and their pick number 53. They say WVU will struggle at the depth at running back at the first game in Big 12 play. I could agree with this one. They say we will struggle in the first few games in Big 12 play, but they don't say all Big 12 play. So maybe they're saying we'll have a losing streak at the start of Big 12 play and then have a streak at the end winning. I don't see this happening. I can maybe see us doing it against Iowa State or maybe Arizona. I think that could definitely happen against Arizona's defense, but Iowa State's defense is probably not very good. Oklahoma State's defense isn't the best either. It's full of lower level players. So I can maybe see this happen for maybe like the first few quarters in the Oklahoma State game, or I think we'll maybe struggle if they're talking about early. I don't know their definition of early. So if it's early, maybe Arizona we'd struggle, but I don't see us struggling at all against Oklahoma State or Iowa State. So one more. This is their pick number 8. My pick number 4 or 5. Mike Hawkins will throw for 2,600 yards in the season. I can agree with this one. I think he'll pass for a little bit less. I'd say maybe 2,500, 2,400. I don't see him passing for 2,600. That's Garrett Green. That's Garrett Green 2023 season. So they're saying we're going to pass it as much as Garrett Green. Maybe he's going to, I said in my earlier podcast that he'll have more yards than Garrett Green with less attempts. So maybe he'll just have a few explosives every game and he'll eventually get to that. But I have him at 2,500 because I think he'll rush it more and will hand the ball off more than Neil Brown did. So I don't see him. I'm just putting in an assumption here. But I could definitely see him doing this if we had some running backs injured and we had the result to the pass, kind of like we had to do last year. And I think we could definitely result to the pass with these receivers this year. We'd be okay doing that this year. So I could definitely see all these picks happening. I picked some picks today that could happen anytime. So what do y'all think about these picks? Could they happen? Could they not? So thank y'all for watching. I feel like this is a pretty entertaining podcast. And I'm going to be out for the next 2 weeks. But I've been working hard this week to put out some podcasts. And I'm going to also schedule another one to come out next week so y'all aren't empty-handed. So thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all have a great day. And let's keep them country roads. Peace.